How's it going, everybody? Thank you all so much for tuning in to GameSpot's live stream of the MechWarrior Online Community Game Night, presented by nVidia, Razer, Infinite Game Publishing, and of course, Piranha Games. I'm Maxwell McGee, joined by Brian Ekman. Drop the title there. What's the title again?
Co-founder and creative director.
That's right, that's right. Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you so much for joining us. You guys have got a massive show, massive tournament that we're preparing for here tonight, and it's going to start with some opening comments. So let's jump to those right now.
Awesome. So today is super exciting. As you know, MechWarriors is here. It's going to be a fantastic night of gaming. I'm personally excited because I used to play MechWarriors when I was just a wee tyke, younger than most of you guys. And I think it was MechWarriors 2, which was just an awesome game. MechWarriors 2? How many people played MechWarriors 2? All right. Nice. Hardcore fans of MechWarrior. So I'm looking forward to the game. There are a couple things I want to make you aware of. First of all, there are going to be prizes. So hang around. There's going to be stuff given out. It's going to be great. There is pizza and there is beer. So already, you're pretty much drinking free beer and eating free pizza, right? Yeah. Thanks, Cheryl, for that if you see her. So awesome job. There are a bunch of systems around here that we're going to be playing a tournament on. As you know, it's going to be a tournament that's going to be run by the MechWarrior guys, so it's going to be super awesome. The boxes that we're going to be playing on are gifts or donations, or at least sponsored by a bunch of different people I'm going to thank. So first of all, Gearbox is in there, Main Gear, Cyber Power, Falcon Northwest, Shuttle, and the mouse, of course, Razer. So a lot of great support from the community, so enjoy those PCs. They're all running GTX 680s, so it's going to be a great gaming experience. We also have some prizes right now that are going to be from ASUS for the winning team. So look for big prizes at the end to kind of make it worth the win, okay? You got to win the tournament to win the graphics cards. We also, there's a couple of firsts here today. So this is actually the first public access to this game in a LAN. Okay, so nobody else has been playing this in public before, and you're going to really have an opportunity to get into the game. I have Russ Bullock here today, who is the president of Piranha. So let's hear it for Russ. We'll bring him up here and explain the tournament in just a second. And today there's two more things I want to make sure you're aware of. First, everybody that's in this room today is going to get a copy of the legendary Founders Pack, right? So that is exciting. Everybody in this room today.
The winners get the legendary Founders Pack. Everyone gets beta access.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, I lied. The winners, the winners get the legendary Founders Pack. But everybody gets access to the beta. So if you are not in the beta, you're in the beta as of today. You're going to get a note. I'm really super sorry about that. So the legendary Founders Pack is for the winners, along with the prize, and everybody gets the beta key. Whew. Right now, there are over 35,000 people playing the beta. There's more than a couple thousand on at any time. So you're going to have a great time with that. So lastly, let's bring up Russ. He's going to explain the tournament, how the tournament's going to work, how the winners win, and have a great time. We'll be back later on throughout the night.
Hey everybody, how's it going today? Welcome to Mech Madness. I can tell you this is what's going on, a huge dream of mine. Piranha Games, we've been around for, almost 13 years. My business partner Brian Ekman, who's over there doing an interview. Hey Brian. This is one of those games that goes right back to my childhood. I'm almost 37 years old. If I had to pick the top 3 games I remember as a kid growing up in the family PC, number 1 is MechWarrior. MechWarrior 1, 2, 3, I played all of them. And I can tell you, in all those years in Piranha Games, this is one of those brands that we looked into like every year just to see if it was available. It never was, but so the stars aligned for us. We started working with the brand in 2008, and it was still a tough sled, and it wasn't until middle of 2011, just about a year ago, that we officially started development on MechWarrior Online using CryEngine 3. So the last year, we felt like really a startup company after all those years. It's just a great time. We love working with PC again. Love working with great partners like nVidia. I really want to have everyone, big round of applause for nVidia and having us, hosting us here. I think they make the best video cards and it's a lot of the best technology in the world. I know we use it at work, and I use their products at home as well. We're really happy to have them. I also want to thank Razer, who's here somewhere. They provided some equipment, some laptops, and As you know, they're creating the great Artemis controller, which is just excellent. I think that's going to be, just a real throwback to the to way back when. It's been a good 10 years since the last proper MechWarrior game, so this is really great here tonight. Let's see. So, who here has played a MechWarrior game before? All right. So it should mean our tournament should go pretty well. Those of you that have not played MechWarrior game before, we appreciate you coming, but you are just going to get feasted upon. MechWarrior is a great game. It has such unique play aspects. Anyone who spends a few hours even getting to know the MechWarrior unique play style, they're immediately converts, and it's just such a great game. So the only thing I want to mention is I know a lot of people have traveled a long ways to come here. The tournament itself, originally we were planning on being able to host 32 teams. So that was, you do the math, it was going to take well over 3 hours to get through it. So it was designed as 8-person teams, single elimination tournament. So, some people could come quite a long ways and spend just a few minutes in the game. So I think for the most part, the feeling is the tournament's really a bonus. I think we're here tonight really as a celebration of MechWarrior. Most of you are in beta anyhow, or you're going to be in beta after tonight. So enjoy the pizza, the beer, enjoy the matches up here. Everyone will get at least one shot, and if you stay alive, you'll go right to the end. Team captains, make sure you have everything planned out before you get up there. Chris over here, who's with IGP, he's going to demonstrate something real quick. I want to show you something. Most of you guys have seen this, but the most important thing for our tournament tonight to be really efficient is not about getting down and going into Mech Lab. In fact, the 32 machines that are tournament set up are locked so that Mech Lab configurations won't save. There's just not time for that. So what we want you to do is just sit down, go to the big long list of mechs there. We've injected these accounts, these special tournament accounts, with one of every variant in the game. So use the arrows, find the mech you want. You've got basically 2 minutes from the time you sit down to select your mech. So obviously you click on one. Next step you got to do is ready that mech, middle slot there. Go for it, Chris. Okay, so now it's readied. Upper right-hand corner, press that launch button. Now, you're ready. What do you do at this point? Nothing. You take your arms away from the mouse and keyboard and arms by your side, because what we're going to do is we don't want people at that point, while we're getting ready, jumping into Mech Lab, messing around. It gets things messed up. This is the beta and the group launching functionality. This game wasn't really designed for a tournament like this. So in order for it to work effectively, we got to launch these groups in a timely manner so that we get the right 2 8-person teams fighting each other. So listen to the helpers and everybody, and we'll get the tournament going nice and smoothly. So that's it. Have your plan before you come up. One last thing is you're going to be either the people over here are just going to be the people playing, and then maybe the next teams that we're lining up to take their place. Everyone else should be over here enjoying the big screen, so where the entertainment is. And that way we'll keep it nice and tidy over there. So I should say, of course, we're still in beta. As much as I want things to go perfect, a couple clients are probably going to crash. We're going to have to reboot some machines. We'll get it all worked out, and we'll get the tournament done. So thanks again for coming. You guys are the best fans. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks. So what's the rule? Just one clarification, Russ. What's the rule if a machine does crash? Is that just bad luck, or?
Usually it's user error, but if it does crash, we'll quickly, we don't want there to be a match that's 8 versus 7, so we'll quickly recycle that game and get everyone playing again.
Okay, so if your machine crashes, the game still counts. We're going to play it to the end, but you will just be, slower. All right, any questions from anybody before we get started? Yes? If there is a tie. If there's a tie, then you are both eliminated. No. What about a tie? Rematch on a tie. Okay, rematch on a tie. Yes, back there. What kind of game is it?
I think he means the rules. So it's like in beta. So the 2 win conditions are destroy the other team or capture their base. So I should also mention, a lot of you in beta are used to 15-minute rounds, again, because the tournament is going to go long. These rounds are 8 minutes long. So get in there, get dirty, and brawl it out. All right. Thanks.
Okay, last question. Anybody? All right, we're good. So I guess the next step is we're gonna tell who the first teams are. Is that how it's gonna work? Okay, so let's announce the first couple of teams.
All right, guys. Here's a couple of ground rules for you. First of all, trash talk is encouraged. Okay, it's a kinder, gentler crowd. Right. what I need is we need the first two teams set up. So Team 1 and Team 2. And it basically, we've got it situated so that the length of the row is the one you want to be on. So I'm going to need Team 1 and Team 2 on the left side. Okay, left is this side. For those of you who have already had too much to drink, left side, okay? Team 1 and 2, right? Against the window, right? Team 1 and 2. If you do not know who you are, team up with your group. Absolutely. I've got, now they want me to read names, but I'm lousy at pronouncing names, so we're going to be in big trouble here. Doug Richmond is the captain of Team 1. Daniel Lopez is the captain of Team 2. So on Team 1, you got Doug Richmond, William Harnudu, okay. Travis, Lee, Andrew, Jeremy, Clem?
I don't know who that one is.
Con? And Jessica. That's Team 1. Team 1. Team 2, Derek, Conrad, Bean, Mark, Justin Stefas, Joran Matthews, David Neves,
Yeah.
all right, and Brett Thornton. All right, Team 1 and 2, you should be lined up.
Team 2 and 3 on deck.
Team 2 and 3, I need you guys on deck. By the way, we were originally targeting 32 teams. It's your lucky night. We only have 16 teams set up. All right? So we got some folks that did not want to play. Team 2 and Team 3, I need you lined up on the right side. Team 2 and Team 3 lined up on the right side. Team captain, Ryan Furlong of Team 3. Team 4 captain, Jeff Connor. Right? So I need Team 3 and Team 4 lined up on the right side. Right side, yes. Away from the window. Yes, you can. But I don't know which end. Okay. Right.
Okay. All right, everybody, have a great time. We'll be back and around. Let's get gaming. And these are the practice stations over here, right? So the practice station's in the middle. If you want to practice, just be fair, rotate through. About how long should we be on a practice machine?
Hey guys, when you're looking at the practice rounds, basically limited to 3 to 5 minutes. The only reason is the things I want you guys to focus on is your weapon configurations. If you do not understand how to configure your weapons, take the time to understand the control. It's the right control and the arrow keys to configure, because you have no guarantee that you have weapon configurations set up for you on the actual tournament machines. The key here will be make sure that you configure your weapons as soon as you go into the match, right? Make sure you configure your weapons. You do not want to be doing alpha strikes. You'll overheat your mech, shut down, and you'll just be easy pickings for the rest of the guys. Absolute reminder, there are 2 ways to win the match. Total defeat of the enemy, all 8 mechs that are dead, or you can actually squat on your enemy's territory, right, which is the triangle that you'll see in the base. And if you squat on that long enough, you will actually win the match for your team. Don't underestimate the value of that for those that might choose a Jenner, the fast one. Are they playing? Are we up? Okay.
Okay. Actually, I think we need to read the names of Team 2 and 3 one more time. I'll read. Okay, so Team 2, again. I'm sorry, Team 3. Team 3 is Russ Furlong, Mike Hillip, Dustin Lee, Alex Masters, Michael Gray. Hey, Mike. Brian Billage, Trevor Shuri, Kane Azamkosi, and Team 4. We also, so by the way, Team 3, let's get lined up to the machines. Team 3. On the right, away from the window. Team 4, Jeff A. Cohen, Autumn Moore, Benjamin Barbie, David Gillis, Johnny Leniconi, Chad Riddle, Emmanuel Vainier, and Mark Hodin. Okay, Hodin. And that is on the right-hand side. You guys go ahead and take your places, sit down, and let's get gaming. All right, thanks. One more quick reminder, please don't put drinks on the table by the PCs, okay? We don't want any meltdowns with the gaming PCs. Don't put your drink inside the keyboard. Don't rest your drink on top of the PC. No drinks.
He's missing. There's one sheet missing for his team.
Oh, okay.
There were 2 teams on it, I think.
2 teams.
It was the one with 29 and 30, I think.
29 and 30 people that did not get registered.
They don't have our sheet.
We don't have your sheet. Well, we'll look
Yeah,
for it.
let's go look for it.
Can I see the list for Team 6?
Team 3?
6.
Team
All right, folks, thank you guys so much for sticking with us through all that logistics, getting everything sorted out, obviously. I'm Maxwell McGee here with Brian Ekman with Piranha Games. We're just about to get started. Brian, you want to refresh us again just real quick on how the rules of these games are going to go down.
All right, so we have 32 teams of 8 players. All right. Single elimination, so once you lose, you're out. And then we're going to go down to 16, 8, and 4, and then down to the final match. And whoever wins, the winning team of 8, takes it all, and they get a legendary Founders Pack. So.
Nice, and we're working with pre-configured mechs here. They're not going to be able to go into Mech Lab, add on a bunch of missiles and all that good stuff.
No, we kept it simple. We injected one of each variant that's in the game, so the players can choose from all the mechs that are available currently, and they can take those into battle. Yep.
And then this is like the first time people are going to be seeing the game worldwide, like who weren't in the closed beta, correct?
This is the first time anybody is going to see the game.
Nice.
So that's pretty amazing.
I'm sure it must be like really nervous for you guys, like ramping up, getting ready to show your baby to the world.
You bet. It's really exciting to actually finally reveal all this footage and see it live. So we're excited. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. How long has the game been in development now?
Well, we announced it October 31st. We started development just about a year ago. So we're about a year in right now, and this is what we got so far. So we're really proud of that.
All right, well, I can't wait to see these guys get their hands on it, start mixing it up. We're just doing our final confirmations, our final checks here. We got the judges going around here, checking on everything, making sure everybody's squared away. We're sitting on the Mech Lab right now. As we mentioned, nobody can mess with that yet. We are going to try to spend some time later on in the stream in the Mech Lab, show off all the customization options for you guys. But what maps are they going to be playing? I'll ask you that. Like, is it always going to be the same map, or is it random? Or
it is going to be random between 3 maps. We have Forest Colony, which we've seen a lot in our media. It's a rainy kind of West Coast feel map. It's an abandoned colony, so there's lots of derelict buildings and mining equipment, things like that.
So lots of places to hide, it kind of sounds like.
Yeah, well, there's 3 main routes. There's a really big open route, there's a really fast route, but it's narrow, and then there's the main kind of thoroughfare. So players can choose which way they want to go, and depending on which way they go, and depending on the type of mech they have, they can use different types of tactics.
And then what were the other 2 maps?
Well, we have Frozen City, which is it's very interesting for the Battletech universe because heat management's huge. You generate a lot of heat when you shoot your weapons, so each of our maps has a different heat rating. And well, Frozen City being
frozen as it is.
That's right. It means that, guess what? You can run a lot hotter. So people are going to be able to shoot faster, shoot more, and it's actually a frozen city. So it's the tops of all these skyscrapers. So it's like weaving through a forest of skyscrapers. So it offers up a whole other level of tactics. It's much more broken up. Players can hide much more easily, and so hopefully we'll see that in tonight's gameplay, and you'll be able to broadcast that because it's a really gorgeous map. One of the really cool features is we actually have weather effects. So the weather rolls in, and you have to use thermal vision to actually see. And what that
like a big blizzard, I imagine.
Exactly. So the blizzard comes in, the sun goes away, your vision comes right in, you can't see anything, so you pop the thermal vision on, and boom, the entire map reveals itself, and you can see those hot mechs running through the game.
It's all like heat maps and all that.
Right. Yeah, your lasers are bright. And
now, is your like the radius of your vision, is it reduced when you're using the heat map vision, or is it the same as like the naked eye?
It's slightly reduced, but what happens is obviously anything that's hot pops, and the colder the difference, the more difference between the heat of the mech and the heat of the background, so the environment, the better you see the mech. So, for example, the other map we're going to see today is Caustic Valley. Let me slip behind here.
All right.
Caustic Valley is the opposite of Frozen City. Hot.
So it's running hot instead of cold.
That's right, and we have a big volcano in the middle. So if you run up top on that volcano and you start shooting missiles and lasers, I guarantee you're going to explode because you're going to overheat so fast. So MechWarrior is really cool because we actually have environmental heat. Not only just like you're on a planet and it's a certain temperature, but localized environmental heat. So you have to pay attention to where you are. Water, for example, if you stand in water, will actually cool you faster. So players can stand in a river or a lake and be able to shoot faster and more often. So
but then you're anchored in that one spot and thus make yourself a little more vulnerable.
Exactly. So there's trade-offs. Yeah.
It looks like we're just about to start the first match here of the night. Here we go. MechWarrior Online Community Game Night. Which map is this?
This is Force Colony. So we are currently setting up weapon groups. Brett's been gracious enough to demo how that works. He's running a 4P Hunchback, which is what we call the Swayback. It's an all-laser mech. So
I know he's totally rocking all medium lasers pretty much, except for that one small laser in there.
yeah, he's got to watch his heat big time. So he's not going to be able to he's not going to. Well, it looks like we're going to have to go back out again.
Oh, false start here, false start.
So we're going to have to split out.
Still ironing out the logistics here, people. We ask that you bear with us. MechWarrior Online Community Game Night.
All right, we had a little bit of a false start there. It's going to happen throughout the night. You know, we're in beta.
It's
so
the first match of the night. There's still some kinks that we're going to have to iron out as it goes.
Good thing is we can cycle this really quickly and we'll get right back into the action. So, yeah. So unfortunately, your mech's going to have to sit there, and we're going to have to wait till that comes out of the game. So
It's going to just have to sit there and look pretty.
yeah, that's right. So go ahead and select another Hunchback if you want, and ready that up.
So let's talk opening strategies a little bit here. What's the strategy in the forest map that we're going to be looking at here? Are there like areas that are more advantageous than others, spots that people need to be looking out for?
Sure. Well, there's three main routes, and like I said before, you got an open route, the main thoroughfare, and a slower route. Depending on what mech you're piloting, you're going to want to take a different route. So the missile boats like the catapult or the Atlas to start with, they're going to want to kind of hang back and let the scouts rush forward and get those targets for them. And then what they can do is they can hide behind a hill with indirect fire and basically drop missiles on that enemy's head. The medium guys like the Hunchbacks and the Centurions, they're going to kind of rush in a line. They're going to want to get up forward and get to the halfway point of the map first so they can kind of create a skirmish line, and then they can just wait there until the enemy comes to them. The whole time, those Atlases and the catapults and the other LRM mechs, they're going to just kind of soften up the enemy. And then as the enemy approaches that skirmish line, they can go in and they can get face-to-face and brawl it out. So that's typically what we see in Forest Colony.
Yeah, no, it sounds like there's a lot more of an emphasis on mech classes. I remember that's something you guys were really pushing early on when you first started talking about this game, is like all the different mechs, depending on their weight, having a different role and having people play those roles.
Exactly. Role warfare is huge for us, and we're just starting to realize it now. One of the things we did with the balance of the game was to really encourage people to choose more than just the assault mech. All the previous MechWarrior games were kind of an arms race where you started with the light mech and the goal was to get to assault.
You just kept building yourself up and up and up and up and up.
That's right. We don't see that now because we've really made Jenners and Commandos and light and medium mechs super useful, and because they can get out there and they can scout and they can participate in the battle and actually effectively do a lot of damage the way they're designed. And so we've achieved this sense of balance between light and assault, so that a team that actually has 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults will do better than a team that just has all lights or all assaults. So, yeah.
So yeah, folks, we're still getting set up here, ironing out a few technical difficulties. I'm Maxwell McGee here with Brian Ekman of Piranha Games. This is the MechWarrior Online Community Game Night. The first time people are going to be seeing this game outside of pretty much the studios.
That's right, absolutely. It's the first time live streamed to the public. This is fantastic. Oh, I'm so excited.
So yeah, we're just about to jump into the first game here. We're just finalizing some technical issues, but it looks like we're just about to get started. We thank you guys for bearing with us. Somebody's mech apparently is still trapped in games, and they're going to have to pick a different one so we can unstuck this mess and get moving forward with the tournament. Brian, we've got a long night of games ahead of us, don't we? How many teams do we have lined up for this match?
We have 32 teams, so the first 2 are going right now. So there's going to be 16 matches of 2, and
luckily it's single elimination. No losers bracket to worry about.
We might be here till 30:49 otherwise. So yeah, absolutely. No, it's whoever wins this match is going on to the next round. Whoever loses is going to have some beer and pizza. So
I know you guys have got beer and pizza in abundance here. I'm very jealous. I'm stuck here with the mic and I don't get to chow down.
Yeah, I'm stuck here with you and I don't get.
I know, we're stuck together. This whole thing.
Well, soon after these guys are done, we'll mosey over there. Sounds good. So.
Yeah.
looks like we're getting close here.
So Brian, I was picking your brain earlier about how long the game is in development. So where would you say right now, like coming out of the closed beta cycle, like what sort of feedback have you been getting from the people in the beta, and where's the game at in development right now, basically?
Well, we're about midway through our closed beta. We're getting close to having all of our MVP features done, our core sets in. We're kind of just doing some polishing and tuning now, and we have a few more metagame features and some of the economy to balance out. That's basically what we're focusing on now. So we're past that hump. We're kind of
got all the big features, all the big ideas are in place.
We've got most of our content done. We're really happy with where it's at. We're taking a couple more CryEngine drops, and then we're going to get ready to push it live to open beta. So.
And when have you guys announced any sort of date or window? Any hints you can give us?
Summer 2012. That's
nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Some point in the future.
Yeah, that's right.
During this year, though, so that's something.
Yeah, absolutely. This year, like I said, we're really close. The community has been amazing to us. The beta users have done a fantastic job of giving us feedback. They're so passionate. They tell us when we get it right. They absolutely tell us when we get it wrong. And so we've been listening to them and working with them to make sure the game's fun and balanced. We've got all kinds of camps. We've got the hardcore Battletech guys. We've got the hardcore MechWarrior guys who, believe it or not, are totally different. And we just got completely new people, players who've never played it before. And we get their feedback. And we've been taking that and incorporating it into the game to make it better. We're not going to leave closed beta until we're ready. It's really important to us that the game that comes out to the public is of the quality level that we feel bears the MechWarrior name, right? So we're close, but it's
the MechWarrior series has a pretty long legacy. It's like a classic mech combat. Of course, it's mech combat based, but it's a classic series. When did the MechWarrior series start? I don't remember the exact year off the top of my head.
There were 2 BattleTech games way back in the day, and the first MechWarrior title was MechWarrior from Activision. And since then, there's been MechWarrior, MechWarrior 2, a bunch of expansions, MechWarrior 3, 4, and that's where it kind of died on the vine. Microsoft kind of went to Mech Assault, and don't boo out there, okay? I mean, it's okay. It was not a bad game, but,
It just wasn't maybe not the game that people were looking for.
Yeah, it wasn't pure MechWarrior. That's the plain simple truth of it. And it was great. It did really well for Microsoft. And then Microsoft, Halo and other products.
And a little something called Halo happened. And
I think, they focused on Xbox and they did an amazing job with it. And then it just kind of sat there and kind of went into storage. And, it got a little bit of a rest, and now it's back.
That's awesome. Yeah, for me, MechWarrior 3 was my baby back in the day. I played that game a ton. That was actually the first time I was ever in like a clan. I'd never heard of clans before MechWarrior 3. I got into that, had a whole training regimen and everything. I mean, I'm sure you have a clan history that's much more longer and colorful than my own.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've been in a number of clans for different games, but actually my most memorable experience was MechWarrior 2. Having a friend back in the day when LAN was a big thing. It is still now, but when it was really big.
Yeah.
And we set up NetBattleTech, or NetMech actually, when it became available for MechWarrior 2, and that was amazing. Just 1v1, but it was freaking cool to play on a local LAN. It was an amazing experience. I love it. Looks like we're getting
looks like we're back. We're back again.
All right.
Second time's the charm this time.
Definitely. All right, we're just going to wait for him to load up here. There we go. We see a Jenner in front of him. Looks like he's got a Hunchback 4SP.
A little bit different layout, different weapon layout than we saw last time. Still rocking the heavy medium lasers though.
This is one of my favorite mechs because it has SRM missiles and it's a real puncher. You run right up and you just launch all your SRMs really close range and it does a ton of damage. The risk is you have to get up close. And also you have a limited amount of ammo, so you got to make every shot count. This is really important. So here we see Frozen City. You can see the weather's in right now. You have limited visibility. If you pop on H there, you can get a little bit of thermal vision, and you can kind of see what it looks like. You can see the hot mech off in the background, so that really helps you kind of not only tell how hot he is, because he will actually get warmer as he heats
once
up.
he starts like firing all his weapons and his lasers and stuff, it's going to start building up heat.
But you can also see the background and see the separation of the mech from the background, which really helps from a tactical point of view. He's also just zoomed in right now, and you can kind of zoom in 2 times, and it's kind of natural view zoom.
Now, folks, if you're just joining us, this is the GameSpot live stream of the MechWarrior Online Community Game Night. I'm Maxwell McGee, here with Brian Ekman of Piranha Games, and we are checking out, for the first time, MechWarrior Online actual gameplay here at the tournament. First game of the night. Let's go.
All right. Well, we're in a Hunchback 4SP right now. and it looks like he's exploring the frozen city. Off in the distance, we see a big plume of smoke, which is a crashed dropship, and that's a landmark for this level. To the right, you see a little bit of a canyon, which is the short route. It's kind of short and narrow. It's the fast way to get to the enemy base. We're playing assault mode right now, which is basically team deathmatch with base capture, and it's very simple. Players can either just eliminate the other team by killing all of the enemy, or they can go and park themselves in their base, and they'll capture it over time.
And then once you capture the base, are you like occurring points, and there's like a counter tick or something like that?
That's right. Well, what'll happen is at the top of the screen, you'll see right below the time score, there's a meter, and that meter will count down. As soon as the enemy meter is down to 0, that team will win the match. Players who are capping the base earn experience points and C-bills for performing in-game actions. Looks like we overheated. This is a really big component of MechWarrior, which is heat management. Everything you do, running, jumping, shooting weapons, generates heat. And so the player always has to be cognizant of heat at all times.
Now, do we still have the auto shutdown override button that I can hit in moments of panic?
I won't tell you what it is, because if he actually does it, he might blow up and we'll lose our feed, but it's O. So looks like we got a bunch of atlases roaming around here. You can see short range.
Just laying into each other.
That's right. You can see really cool effects. One of the atlases has lost his arm already, so that means he's down some weapons. Up in the upper right corner of the screen, you can see the target indicator. You can see the enemy mech taking damage.
We can see there's like heat burns, and I like the damage modeling details you've got on there showing like the deterioration.
That's right. The lasers actually score. They're a time-based weapon, so as they score across the body, they leave marks, which is really cool. So you can actually see where...
So if I'm like really styling, can I like cut my initials into the other person's mech?
I've seen a few smiley faces. So definitely, absolutely. All right, got some SRM-6s going off there, doing a lot of damage. This Atlas he's fighting right now has got no arm on the right side, so he's a bit crippled. In fact, if you look in the upper right corner, you can see he's missing his AC-20, which is his heavy hitter cannon. That's a weapon that does 20 damage, so it's very powerful. He's also lost a medium laser, so he's down to his LRM-10s, which you can't really use close range because they're a long-range weapon.
Yeah.
So he's a bit of a sitting duck, and I think he's going to get finished off pretty quick here.
So it looked like I thought our friend here was taken out for a second, but it looks like he just got knocked down and then got right back up again.
That's right. What we have is we do have collision impacts, and we're still working on them. But for example, if you're lighter than if you're a lighter mech than the mech you hit, you will fall down. Just basic physics, right? Yeah. It's going to be built.
Just get mowed over.
That's right. Yeah. So I can't tell you how many times I've been running around a commando at 100 kilometers an hour and smashed into a foot of an Atlas and gone flat on my back.
Plop.
Yeah. So. It's part of the charging system which we're putting in, which is Battletech has a lot of melee built in. Okay. We're not launching with full melee support, but we are launching with a few things like charging. And so part of the fall down, knockdown mechanic is to actually do damage. So for example, if you're primarily a ballistics or a missile-based mech, you have ammo, and when you run out of ammo, you kind of can't do much other than go cap the base.
I was going to say, is there any way to replenish your ammo after you've run out, or you just wait to respawn?
No, these matches are a war of attrition. That's it. You lose armor. There's no way to repair your armor. There's no way to get health back. Or your ammo back. Sorry. So once you're out, you're out. So that's why the charging mechanic and knockdowns come into play. And also,
it's sort of like a last-ditch maneuver.
That's right. Yeah. We use, and eventually, hopefully down the road, when we get the melee system in, people will be able to swing their arms a little bit more. But for now, we just wanted to focus on the core weapons.
And in sort of a conceptual way, like how does melee work in the Battletech system?
It's fairly robust. You know, they have axes and melee weapons. You can pick up enemy mech arms and smash them over the head. So yeah, it's not the primary mode of damage, but it is kind of the fallback. Charging is actually the biggest one, where you specifically pick a mech and you rush at it and try to knock it down. It does a ton of damage.
So even though it's not in the game yet, it's still something that you guys are thinking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's critical. I think it's core, especially if we do something in Solaris Arena and stuff like that. That's huge, kind of gladiatorial combat. But for this type of gameplay we're doing right now, it's not necessary. So
why don't you bring us up to speed here on how the two teams are doing?
Well, it looks like, let me ask if you can push the tab button for a sec here. The tab, yeah, one over, there you go. Looks like you are dominating. So this all
right, we picked the right guy. Here we go.
Looks like they're down to just a couple mechs. Looks like that is now a dead mech. He just exploded. His team is, oh wow, they only have one more.
Oh, wow, they are really cleaning house. All right.
So this match is over.
I said respawns earlier, but that might not be correct. Are there respawns?
There are no respawns in the default mode, but we do have a mode called Dropship Mode, which is going to come along with our Community Warfare expansion, which is going to, I won't get into too much detail, but basically it will allow you to bring in 4 mechs. Yeah.
So once one of them gets destroyed, you can roll back to the next one.
That's right, yeah. But it's still a limited resource. This game isn't so much about respawning, it's about, single match, war attrition. Once you're dead, you're dead. We have a really cool spectator mode. Which
he slipped and fell a little bit there. It happens to the best of us.
So now he's got to get back up again. It sucks to fall down.
I know. Is there ever a help I've fallen and I can't get up type scenario?
Not yet, but there is.
I'm not going to need my life alert necklace or anything like that?
No, definitely not. But you are going to suffer if you're next to an enemy mech. He's going to sit there and pound you. So, it keeps people from getting up close and trying to knock into each other too much unless they're purposely trying to do it. So you kind of have to pay attention to where you are at all times. It's really important.
One just quick little thing, you were showing up, we were seeing some of the zoom effects earlier. I remember in MechWarrior 3 there was like a little zoom window, a little zoom box that you could open up?
Yeah, a pit, like a picture-in-picture.
Yeah. Can we? Is that still an option?
Yeah, we actually, part of the metagame is you earn experience points, and one of the things you can unlock is the advanced zoom, and that's what that is. Yeah, so.
Yeah, folks, we're going to be a little later on here once we finish up this, and we have another segment planned for you. But the third segment of tonight, we're going to be taking a closer look at how the metagame and the customization works. So if you want to know more about that, just stay tuned. We will get to it. This game, the first game of the night, just about finished up here as soon as this team catches the final enemy mech, who looks like is making a sneak attack on their base.
That's right. It looks like you got 34 seconds left. Yeah, he's running around. He's stealing the base. It's going to be a tight one. So we'll see. 7-0 kills.
I know. Is there any chance that this one mech could turn it around if he takes their base?
Yes.
Is that going to make a huge?
He's not going to take it, but he could. One mech can win it. That's the beauty of this game, is that you can be that scout mech. He's got no arms, barely any legs, barely a torso.
He's out of ammo.
No ammo, no weapons. There you go, victory.
But it wasn't this time. Was not to be this time.
So it's one of the cool things about all the classes we have and all the mechs is that you can be the last man standing and actually still make a difference. Yes, absolutely. So, all right, good game. Yes. Excellent.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break here or so. I'm going to toss over to my coworker Peter. He's going to be telling you guys about the Razer Artemis controller, big crazy custom controller they put together for this game. But we're going to jump to that in just a second when we come back. All right. Good job. Man, we got that. Okay, guys.
Hey everybody, I'm here with Kevin Scarpati, PR specialist at Razer. How you doing today?
Good, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. So we're here to look at the Artemis, the concept controller for MechWarrior Online. So I took a look at this at E3. You said you guys have a few changes in store. What are you guys thinking about right now?
Well, I mean, the important thing to stress right now is this is only a concept, but we are toying with a few different changes, and I'm excited to tell you guys about them. As you can see right now, and if you saw the pictures at E3, this was all connected. It was all one piece. we're looking at maybe breaking each module off. So right now you'd have the keypad on one side, maybe you'd have the controller on the other side, integrated screen in the middle. So we're looking at that right now, still trying to figure out what we like best with this. The second update is more of a design update. We're looking at, like if you saw it at E3 again, you saw that it was a lot of green, looked a lot like MechWarrior, it was really cool. We're looking at maybe changing that up a little bit, keeping the MechWarrior theme, but maybe just coming out with something a little different. We're not quite sure yet. Again, it's a concept, but that's update number 2. Update number 3 is something I'm really excited about. You see you have the keypad on one side, you have the mech stick, which everybody is super excited about on the other. We're looking at, instead of doing a keypad, maybe doing like a throttle. So you have a throttle and you have the mech stick. Maybe give you a little more integration, like you feel like you're in a mech itself. So we're looking at that. That's really all I can say right now. It's a concept, but we got some updates, so that's been great.
It does look really interesting. And I remember one thing you mentioned at E3 is that fans were suggesting maybe put some buttons down here, because this is going to be primarily a display, right? So this thing won't be too expensive, rather than like sort of an interactive screen.
No, I mean that's definitely something that our designers are looking at everything.
Yeah.
And if if the feedback we get from the community and from the press is they want buttons down here, we'll put buttons down there. That's the great thing about a concept. We can do whatever we want with it right now. So if that's what people want, that's what they'll get.
And is the plan to ship this with MechWarrior Online?
I mean, there is no ship date yet. I mean, I'd love to see it. I played MechWarrior growing up as a kid. I still play MechWarrior 2 sometimes when I'm feeling nostalgic. So, I mean, we'll see. I'd love to see it ship, but it's just a concept and there's no release date as of yet.
All right, well thanks Kevin. Again, this is the Artemis controller from Razer, coming out from MechWarrior Online at some point in the future.
All right, we're searching.
All right, thank you, Peter, for that. That's a look at the sort of physical tech behind the new MechWarrior game. Now we're going to take a look at some of the graphical tech with my friend Jason from nVidia. Jason, thank you so much for sitting down with us.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So what are we going to be going over here? I know you've got some announcements, something you'd like to talk about.
Yeah, so we've been working with the guys from MechWarrior on putting some new tech in the game. I've been putting some DirectX 11 features, but we've also been working on one feature that's called TXAA. I want to tell you a little bit about. So TXAA it's a form of anti-aliasing, which helps smooth out all the jaggy, pixelated lines in games.
So everything doesn't look like it's just cut out of construction paper, basically.
And what we've done with TXAA is it's a new form that's higher quality and really great performance as well. Now, one of the problems you have with traditional AA is it looks good if it's on a still screen, but when it's in motion, you tend to get some crawling and artifacting on the screen. What we've done with TXAA is analyzed across frames so we can actually get rid of the crawling and create a very smooth image in motion. And it's a lot like what they do in film. So we're borrowing a lot of the tech from cinema and bringing it into the video games. And MechWarrior, as you're cruising down the battlefield with your mech, it's going to look great, lines are going to be smooth, and just deliver a very high quality, great looking gaming experience.
So how powerful of a rig am I going to need to take advantage of these features? Because being an online game, I imagine they're going to want to cast a wide net of different hardware types and configurations.
Right. So the game's going to scale great across hardware. For the high-end DirectX 11 and TXAA features, you're going to want probably something like a GTX 600 card. We have launched several over the past quarter, 690, 680, and 670, all out in the market, and those will run great with all the features cranked.
I wanted to know a little bit more about how this partnership between nVidia and this upcoming MechWarrior game came about.
So, as soon as we heard there was a new MechWarrior game coming out, a lot of us here at nVidia are gamers. Yeah. We played the MechWarrior game.
I know, we were just talking, you're like an original OG MechWarrior fan.
Exactly, and so as soon as we heard there was a new MechWarrior game coming out, we were on top of it, right? And we were talking to the Piranha guys, what can we do? And the game looks great, and we saw the graphics quality, and we said, how can we work with you guys to make it better? Let's put in some, let's work with you guys, put in some new features, make it look that much better, and here we go. We got a great looking game with DirectX 11 and TXAA.
Yeah, and before I cut you loose here, I want to know a little bit more about the Dx11 Effects. Can you tell us specifically what sort of effects you're going to be adding in?
I think those are still under wraps.
Oh no!
So
it's just all going to be God rays as far as the eye can see.
So I think next time around we'll tell you a little bit more about that stuff.
All right, Jason, we'll let you get back to the festivities. Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thanks, Max. Appreciate it.
Take care.
Bye.
All right, so we're going to find Brian again real quick. Going to switch and do a little seat swap here, and then we're going to jump into the sort of the customization element of MechWarrior Online. So let me point at my friend Brian over here. Back again. Oh, my goodness. Brian, you're back.
I am back.
All right, so let me hit the record button on our old capture box here. Right. There we go. Now we should be catching feed. So, Brian, what I wanted to know, earlier we got to see a match in progress. So what I wanted to do is take a step back here, take a look at the Battle Lab, take a look at the metagame that's going on, and sort of break that down and explain it to us.
All right, well, let's get started with some of the metagame aspects. So if you know anything about free-to-play games, there's usually a dual currency system, one that you buy and one
you've got your in-game currency, you've got your real-world currency.
Exactly. So the currency that you purchase with real cash is called MechWarrior credits, and our in-game currency is C-bills. And C-bills is, if you're a MechWarrior fan, you know what that means. That's basically the currency that's been around in all the stories and all the previous games. And so that's what you earn by performing actions and contracts and things like that inside of the actual game play. All right. We also have experience points. Now, I'll jump right into to the experience point system, which is we see here in Pilot Lab. And one of the things we do here is, as the player is playing the game, they earn experience points in whatever mech they are playing as. All right, so we call that mech experience points.
Now, is this divided up to individual mechs, or are we talking about weight classes?
We're actually talking about chassis type, down to the variant.
Oh, goodness.
Yes, exactly. So if we take a look at the Jenner here, we can actually see that we have 4 variants with the founder, but we have 3 base variants here. We'll take a look at the 7D here, and what you can see is we have a set of tiers of things you can unlock per mech. So as you earn experience points, you can actually go in and spend your experience points on a variety of mech efficiencies. And as you can see, I clicked on Anchor Turn, which increases the turning speed of your battle mech by 2.5%. So what this does is players can actually improve their overall efficiency of their mech as they earn experience points. Okay. Now that's for the basic tier. To unlock the elite tier, players actually have to go through and unlock all of these options inside of each basic tier for 3 variants of the same type. So I would have to play through the 7D, the 7F, and the 7K, and then I'd be able to unlock elite. Now with elite comes some very powerful abilities, and once the player's done elite, they now have to unlock 3 elites to receive master status, and that's based on the class. So master's tied to class, so you become a light master. All right. All right. Now, when you're in the battlefield, people will be able to recognize that. The color of your HUD indicator would tell you that. Oh, that player's he's either
watch out for that guy.
He's a master, or he's an elite player. So, and each and every single mech has this tree to unlock and grow, and so there's a lot of depth to the gameplay.
So if we've got a players maybe like sit down, maybe play like 3-4 hours a day, about how long do you think it would take them to get from basic to master level?
Right now it's taking about 30 matches to unlock bases. It'll probably take you, maybe 20 hours to get down to the bottom of one tree. Yeah, give or take. You know, our final timing's not done yet, but we'll see. We're still tuning it. So
and then
don't hold me to that.
I won't quote you on that one. And then is there any sort of like rollover prestige system where like you've reached the top, you want to start back over at 0 and build your way back up again?
No, there's no.
I mean, it sounds like there's a ton of different mechs to level up, so if you get done with one, just move on to another.
Pretty much, right? What's really important to us is that players try out a lot of different mechs, right? And so as we roll on into the future, we're able to add Master 2, Elite 2, things like that. So we can continue to add content well after launch by adding new mechs and adding new experience trees and adding new tiers. So as the players kind of chew through the content, we'll go ahead and add some more, and it'll just kind of plug right into the same system.
Let's take a quick look at the Mech Lab here real quick.
If I can just finish off one more
Sorry
thing.
about that.
Yeah. We have General EXP, which is one of the things that you can actually convert your Mech EXP into General EXP and spend it on any mech. This is really cool. So, you know, if you have a favorite mech and you've already maxed it out and you're earning lots of experience in it, you can spend some MechWarrior credits and convert that to General EXP.
Okay, so that XP just doesn't get wasted just because you're playing your favorite mech.
That's right, and then you can take that EXP and use it on any mech you want. All right, so let's definitely jump into Mech Lab. Now this is kind of the heart and soul of MechWarrior. This is where you go and you tinker and customize and really make your mech yours, okay? So I'm going to take this 4G Hunchback, and I'm going to drop right in there and start looking at it. So I don't have a ton of money right now, so I'm not going to be able to do a bunch, but I kind of go through the system. Essentially, the battle mechs are broken down into areas called components. So you have, right now what's currently highlighted is the center torso, and you can see up in the right-hand corner that the center torso is right in the heart. That's the heart and soul of the mech. You have the gyro, which is what stabilizes the mech, and you also have the engine. The engine is what powers the mech. If you destroy the engine, the mech's dead.
You're done.
You're done. Now, the other thing that kills the mech right away is obviously the cockpit. That's where the pilot sits.
Boom, headshot.
That's right. There we go. Gone. No cockpit, no pilot, you are dead. And so each of the mechs are broken down into several components. So you have center torso, left torso, right arm, left arm, legs. And players can customize each of these areas. They can put on different pieces of equipment, like this mech here has an AC-20. So I can actually drag that AC-20 off, and it no longer has it equipped. And I can go, hey, I'm going to put a smaller AC on, so I'm going to drop this AC-20 back on there. It says, yes, I do want to put it on there. And now I have a smaller weapon. I also have hardpoints, so I can actually put a couple more of those AC weapons on. Oh, maybe a machine gun. And now I've totally kitted out this mech and changed how it plays entirely. I've turned it into a long-range sniper with a short-range machine gun from a short-range brawler with AC-20, like a really heavy hitter. So this is the customization that is featured in MechWarrior Online. You can get down the nitty-gritty and really tune your mech to your playstyle. The basic rules are very simple. You have a max weight called tonnage. Okay, so that's the maximum that chassis can hold. You have slots, which is what you see right here. So physical space inside the mech that a weapon takes up. You notice that these are taking up, the AC-2s are.
You can't just put an infinite amount of guns inside of your mech.
Exactly. So an AC-10 takes up a whole lot more space than an AC-2. As you can see, it takes up 5 slots, looks like there. All right. And also we have hardpoint restrictions, and those help us balance the game to make sure that people don't walk out and find some insane build where they're carrying like 100 weapons, they shoot once, they explode, and well, they kill somebody and they die. So we try to manage the maximum number of builds via the hardpoint system, and it's a tuning element for us.
And then how are players unlocking these new weapons and parts?
All the weapons are available. If it's available in the timeline, which is $30.49, it's available to the player. So they have immediate access to all the items. The only barrier of entry is money. So you might have to play a few matches to save up. As you can see over here on the right side, I'm going to click on this AC-10. It costs 200,000 C-bills. On the left side, we see I have 1.75 million C-bills. I can clearly afford that, so I'll be able to drop that bad boy over there. The Gauss rifle, for example, is too heavy, so I can't equip it. That's why it's red. But if you have the money, you can equip it. This is really important to us. Day one, we don't want player gated. We want people in there. We want them customizing and doing whatever they want and having fun.
Now then, what are these other three icons?
All right, so we have weapons, which is we have beam weapons, missile weapons, ballistic weapons. We also have ammo, which you have to manage and equip. So here you can see we have all the different types of ammo that can be equipped onto the mech. And then we have equipment, and there's heat sinks, which is what manages your heat. So the more heat sinks you have, the more you can fire. They do weigh 1 ton each, so it's a trade-off. You also have case, which is cellular ammunition storage equipment, which...
Very good, very good.
I had to pull that one out of the back there. And what it does is you put it in the left or right torso, and it actually blocks missile explosion damage from destroying you. So sometimes if you overheat, you actually cook off your missiles, and that helps prevent it from killing you. So it's very useful if you like to run hot and run.
If you're running reckless, you might want to throw one of those on there.
That's right, yeah. And then over here we have the armor system. And we have several types of armor. Right now in the game we only have standard armor, but there is another armor called ferrofibrous, which is really cool. As you can see in the middle bar here, we can go to each of the components, and we can actually select how much armor we want to put on the front and the back of the mech. Okay? Armor is really important. This is your health. No health, you die. Okay. So players also, again, might have different play styles. They might say, I have this right arm that I don't really give a crap about. I'm just going to
strip all the armor off of there.
Strip all the armor off. I'm going to put it somewhere else. Right.
Let come what may.
That's right. Exactly. So they might sacrifice their arm for more armor somewhere else. Again, fully customizable. Players can run in with no armor if they want. I don't recommend it, but it makes for a very funny match, I'll tell you that.
Might I suggest armoring up the legs? I remember getting my legs blown out a ton in MechWarrior 3.
Guess what? We have found that our beta users do not leg. It was part of our core design to take legging as much out of the game as possible.
Really?
It's still a valid tactic, but we don't destroy mechs, and they don't fall down when you leg one leg. The only way to actually destroy a mech is to shoot both legs out.
Oh, so it's a little bit harder this time around.
It's a little bit harder and a little bit more friction, and it's not as easy to do, so players are less inclined to actually do it. However,
I remember jumping into MechWarrior 3. I had all of my medium lasers, and it was just like an ankle biter match as we all run around shooting.
Exactly. People go for the path of least resistance. If it's the head, that's where they're going to go. If it's the leg, that's where they can go. So what we try to do is balance out the game in a way that people mechs didn't have a specific weakness. That's really hard to do, but we've kind of gotten there. We're really close. So legs, if you shoot a leg off, you've actually crippled him, so he has a disadvantage. So he runs slower, walks slower, and has a bit of a limp, which is really cool in the game.
All right, Brian, was there anything else you want to talk to us about here in the customization metagame?
I think that covers it all. I can't wait for people to get in there and dig around. It's a pretty deep system, and once you get the hang of it, your gameplay is really unlimited because there's hundreds and hundreds of possible combinations of equipment, armor, weapons, and you name it. So.
All right, Brian, well, I think that's just about going to do it for us. We'll go ahead and cut you loose, let you get back to the festivities. Obviously, you've got a long night ahead of you with all these different matches going on. Again, I think I bugged you about this earlier, but is there any sort of indication you can give people on when they're going to be able to get their hands on MechWarrior Online?
Well, right now, if you jump into the Founders Program, you will pretty much get immediate access to the beta. We're still bringing in beta users from our over 100,000 applications we have, so we are bringing them in on a regular basis. We just recently switched to the production hardware, so we have massive capacity. We're super excited about that. As for an open beta, we still don't have a date. Our target is before the end of summer.
All right, folks. Thank you guys at home so much for watching. This has been GameSpot's live stream of the MechWarrior Online Community Game Night. I'm Maxwell McGee. Again, thank you guys for watching, and be sure to head over to GameSpot.com for more coverage of the game. We'll see you next time.